Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a pleasure to join you. I know you've had a very busy day, had a completely packed agenda looking at the future of England's economic heartland, and very apt to meet in Silverstone to be discussing transport issues. This is a centre of the motor industry, and certainly for motorsport, and rather a glamorous location. I haven't been here before. I always say that transport is glam, but I'm not absolutely sure that anybody ever believes me. Key thing, great to see so many people here, also coming from so many different backgrounds, whether it's local authorities, Highways England, Network Rail, the National Infrastructure Commission, and so many businesses that form the supply chain to keep all of our networks working. All here to demonstrate a commitment to improving this region's transport. And it is right that we do consider and improve this region's transport. This region needs to get the attention it deserves. It contains the fastest growing cities in the UK just about, with Oxford, Cambridge and Milton Keynes. It has over 175,000 businesses, 1.6 million jobs, 3.5 million people. It is a region of world-leading universities, and as we've just been hearing, it's a region gaining a reputation as a centre of excellence for the science, technology and innovation in our transport sectors. And as part of the government's Intelligent Mobility Fund, Milton Keynes is trialling those autonomous vehicles that will ultimately revolutionise our industry and revolutionise the way we travel. In all, this region contributes £92 billion to the economy, and just for point of comparison, that is twice the GDP of Croatia, a country I picked entirely at random based upon the fact that I went there for last my holidays. But the point is, none of these great achievements, none of this success can be taken for granted. Many of you will have seen the National Infrastructure Commission's report in the autumn, and the report highlighted housing and connectivity challenges that this area faces. Well, this region certainly has some housing challenges. It's got some of the most expensive housing anywhere in the UK outside London, partly fueled by the fantastic university towns and cities of Cambridge and Oxford. And it's also thanks to a legacy of underinvestment from government in transport in this region, that is successive governments of all colours over many, many years. So this region has transport connectivity which is not satisfactory for the present, let alone a good platform for the future. Getting across this region can be very time-consuming. Sometimes it's quicker to travel north-south in and out of London than it is to travel east and west. For example, the distance from Aylesbury to Milton Keynes is 21 miles, but it can take 2.5 hours on the train. Cambridge to Luton, 41 miles apart. That journey on the train can take 2 hours. So when transport isn't all that it should be, we have to recognise there is an economic and social consequence, a toll to pay for that. Effective transport is essential for prosperity and for productivity, but transport isn't just about getting people or goods from A to B. Transport is far more than that. Transport helps people get on, it provides access to education and jobs, it connects businesses with customers, patients to healthcare, friends to friends, family to family. It has a broader social purpose. Now that's why I was very glad in the autumn statement, which was only 3 months ago, we were able to announce that we would be pressing ahead with plans for a new road expressway from Oxford to Cambridge via Bedford and Milton Keynes. And we're also looking to make improvements on the A1 between the M25 and Peterborough. We're working to include these projects and more in our next road investment strategy. This is the period which will be coming in 2020 and be the next 5 years' worth of projects for our strategic road network. And you will continue, you as the England's economic heartland will continue to be included in all of that work. We are investing in East-West Rail, and we anticipate that services will be operational between 2022 and 2024. All of our work is trying to bring projects forward. Last year, the Secretary of State appointed Rob Brighouse, former CEO of Chiltern, to look at how we could bring this project to fruition more quickly. How can we get it delivered? And in the autumn statement, the Chancellor provided £10 million to continue the development of the central section between Bedford and Cambridge. So this is a good start. It means we've actually got two of the ingredients that are necessary for investment. We have got access to long-term planning and cash. That's great, but we need to have something further as well. And that something further, that extra ingredient, is the right governance. Now, the government can find the money and it can make plans. Usually it's been better at making plans historically than finding the money, but we have got the two working together. But plans have to be turned into concrete proposals for the future, and the money spent in the right way. And that, I think, is where organisations such as England's Economic Heartland have such an important role to play. It's by taking local knowledge of the needs and opportunities and then thinking strategically about how the money is best allocated, on what schemes it should be allocated, in what order to allocate it. You will know your economy better than anyone else. You know what is needed to drive growth in your areas. In particular, housing, transport, and economic growth all need to be looked at together, not just as the preserves of separate individual teams in silos. I've met with council leaders for this area obviously earlier today, and that was a key message that came across to me about not operating in silos and focusing upon skills. Now, for example, we are seeing decision-making often centralised at a national level. I recognise that entirely. That is certainly the case over the strategic transport schemes. So we need to break out of that. Over the year ahead, we want to work with you as a group to support you in making a real difference to your region. We want England's economic heartland to shape its own future. We want to see the region speak with one voice, to have a shared vision for buses, trains, taking into account what passengers want. We want to see your plans for reducing road congestion, and particularly speeding up links to our international connections, to airports. And we want to see a vision that links this thinking on transport to thinking on housing and thinking on economic development. We are not buying transport because we like tarmac or because we like structures and bridges. What we're buying is economic growth and social progress. Around the country, we are seeing early evidence that when local areas come together and plan long-term infrastructure investment, they can deliver outputs greater than the sum of their parts. We're seeing that already. We've called these, in a rather not very catchy name, sub-national transport bodies. Well, I'm very pleased that you are also considering becoming a sub-national transport body. I think it might offer significant benefits to the region, but by definition, it's not something that should be imposed from central government. It's something which will be decided upon locally and be decided upon from the hard work of analysis and sorting out governance. This region must put forward its own proposals and make the case for benefits. The government door will certainly be open, and to help with that, you have asked if we would match fund some investment, £625,000 worth of investment was a request for central government. Well, I'm very happy to confirm that investment today, which will enable you to take your plans forward to the next stage. So in conclusion, my message is this. We know that transport infrastructure across the region isn't good enough, not for a region with such incredible economic potential. But we also now have the chance to put that right. But it will not be put right by people sitting in London and telling you what to do, but simply by giving you the chance to shape your own future. That is a great and exciting prospect and a very significant opportunity. So thank you for listening. Thank you to Martin Tett, the Strategic Alliance and Highways UK for organising what I think has been a very, very successful event. And thank you for all of the work that you are doing and for bringing everybody together, because the future is made by local decision-making, shaping national funds, working in partnership. And we're already seeing the fruits of that with today's event. So thank you very much for listening.